Okay, this video is going to be about products that work really well on oily or combination skin. So that could mean you get oily in some places and then other places you're really dry. That's how my skin is. And so it's important to start out with a moisturizer even if you are oily. And this one is by Avon and it's just oil-free lotion SPF 15. And it's a very liquid-like consistency, so it'll sink right into your skin. So you don't have to worry about it making you additionally oily. And then next is foundation, and this one's my favorite, and it's the Revlon Color Stay for combination oily skin. I really like this foundation, but you need to make sure you moisturize really well before you put it on. And it's important to only start with a light layer because it can get cakey if you put too much product on your skin. Next is the Rimmel London Clean Finish Matte Foundation. And so far this is the most matte foundation I've ever tried. So if you have dry skin, I wouldn't suggest you use it. Because, well, it comes like this. And it's a very thick texture. And this stuff will seriously not let you get shiny at all. So you need to be really careful when you use this. If you have any dry patches, then I wouldn't suggest using it. And if you're into the cream to powder foundations, then you might want to try the Avon Extra Lasting Cream to Powder. It goes on very moisturizing. It's very creamy. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very creamy and thick. And it dries to a powdery finish, but you still might want to use a little bit of powder to set it so it doesn't slide around. And the powder I would use to set foundation is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder because it doesn't get cakey. This is in the color Sandstorm, but you can get it in translucent so it won't show up powdery or colored on your skin. Then to set all that, a setting spray is really important, and I got this NYX Matte Finish setting spray. This is the only inexpensive setting spray I've tried that actually works. And it'll look dewy when you first spray it on, but once it dries and sinks in, it'll give you a nice matte finish. And this will make your makeup somewhat water resistant because I've used this over the Revlon Color Stay and gone swimming with it, and it's still giving me some coverage when I'm out of the pool. Okay, next is blushes, highlighters, and bronzers. So with blush, you're going to want to layer your blush. You're going to want to use a cream blush and then a powder blush because it'll make it last a lot longer. So I usually start with the Love and Beauty Cream Cheek Blush. It's a really pretty color. And you just blend a tiny bit of this because it's really pigmented onto the cheeks, and then you set it with a powder blush. And I usually use this one. And that'll make sure that it lasts all day. Now for highlighters, a lot of people with oily skin avoid highlighters because they're usually a liquid consistency and they make you look a little bit oily. So I like this Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. It is sold as a bronzer, but it is so light that I use it as a highlighter. And it is a little chalky, but it's very pigmented and it stays on. Now for eye makeup, you're going to want to start with a good primer. I used to have a lot of trouble with my eyeshadow creasing throughout the day. And then I tried the e.l.f. eyelid primer, and it's only $1 and it lasts like a month. And it just goes on clear once you blend it out. And this will make your eyeshadows last way longer. So I never put on eye makeup without using this primer. Next, what I usually use is the Maybelline New York Eye Studio Gel Eyeliner, which is a really good eyeliner, but if I'm going to be outside for a long time, I don't use this just because it is a creamy formula, so it can crease or smear or fade throughout the day. If I'm going to be outside and I know it's hot, I'll use the Essence Liquid Eyeliner in Waterproof. I don't know if it's waterproof, but it is sweat proof. So if you sweat, it's not going to come off. But if you wash it off with water, it's going to come off. And the applicator is really nice. If you can see that, it comes to a very nice point. I don't like it when liquid eyeliners have too big of a tip because I like to do a thin line. But you have to be careful with liquid eyeliners because they can be somewhat hard to use. So all these products are very good for oily skin, and they will prevent you from getting oily throughout the day. But with products that say matte, it's important to only use a little bit because it can dry out your skin. And so those are all the products I have for oily skin.